guys, Courtney here with Kids Corner with Courtney. Love letters from God. The stone that struck the giant. Goliath was a very ugly, very scary, very big giant. He was as tall as a house. His eyes were as big as baseballs. His legs were as thick as tree trunks. Everyone was afraid of Goliath. Everyone, that is, except little David. Now David and Goliath were very different. David was small. Goliath was huge. David was quiet. Goliath was noisy. David was kind. Goliath was mean. David sang like a bird. Goliath roared like a lion. David ate porridge for breakfast. Goliath ate squirrels. But the most important difference between David and Goliath was David knew God. Goliath did not. David knew that God was bigger than Goliath. Goliath thought he was bigger than anyone. David knew God was strong. Goliath thought he was stronger. David knew when it was time for him to fight that huge giant, God would be fighting with him. Goliath thought that when it was time for him to fight that little boy, he could do it alone. Out onto the battlefield marched Goliath. Out onto the battlefield tiptoed David. "I'm gonna squash you flat," roared Goliath in a huge voice. "My God is so big, so strong, and so mighty," sang David in a quiet voice. Goliath lifted his huge sword. David lifted his small sling. Round and round and round David swung that small sling. Out shot one smooth stone. It flew through the air faster than a speeding bullet. Kaboom! It hit Goliath right in the middle of his forehead. Goliath dropped his huge sword. He rocked backwards and forwards and then fell with a mighty thump to the ground. Little David ran happily home to have his porridge. Goliath never got to eat another squirrel. Isaiah 43:5 says, "Do not be afraid, I am with you." And our love letter from God today says, "Dear Encounter family, I have something very special to tell you. No giant is bigger than me. No giant is stronger than me. Do not be afraid of giant things in your life that might frighten you. Never forget I am bigger and stronger than anything you might be scared of. So try to be like David. Do not be afraid. Remember, I am always with you. Your big, strong friend, God." Today we're going to make a special picture. We're going to make a special picture that represents something that we're afraid of. So I did it on a black piece of construction paper. You can do it however you like. I decided to use some chalk. White crayon works really well too. And I just drew a scary storm. Lots of rain. Maybe we should add some bolts of lightning in there. Okay, a scary storm. Then on a separate sheet of paper, waxed paper, I drew a very different picture. I drew a picture of God. Because God is with us no matter how scary our storm seems. And then we taped the piece of wax paper on so that we can remember that even though we don't see him, he is right there with us, sharing in our storm.